Hello and welcome to Be Powerful with Liz and Lee. It's a new day and we're so glad you're here.
So you can expect to hear candid conversations on what it means to be powerful. Live authentically, live in the midst of ups and downs, productively, and above all else, joyfully.
We are so thankful for you, our community of listeners, and we hope you enjoy today's show.
Hi, Lee.
Hi, Liz.
How you doing?
I'm in a bad mood.
Can you see us? You see her in her black shirt and her black earmuffs?
Earmuffs. Like we're outside in the cold.
It is
Said
cold.
we're inside in the heat because now we've come into turn your heat on season and we've skipped fall altogether.
We kind of skipped fall. It'll go back
Maybe
in
today.
just a minute. So we have been sitting here deciding whether or not to podcast because one of the two of us in this equation is not in a good mood. And I'm not that one.
Yay, good for you.
I know. It's just one of those days, you know?
I know.
Except, no, I don't know. Why don't you, tell me what you want to talk about.
Well, I had to take off my sweatshirt, and that was my cozy blanket of safety.
But look how good you look in that black shirt. Of mine, by the way.
It's only because I have a fake tan, not a bad one, a spray one.
Let's not go straight to vanity.
negative.
Let's wait
Negative
until
town.
halfway through the podcast to go into the vanity part, okay?
Oh.
Yeah. So, we just did a little outdoor photo shoot. It's really windy.
It's hurricane season. I kind of feel like a hurricane. I really don't know. I'm more just so tired. Like I have the sweetest neighbors at my house this week with the kids, and they are so nice. And they have a brand new baby, and I feel like maybe the baby's sleeping at my house.
Why? Because it's
That's how
making
tired
that
I
kind of
feel.
money. That
kind of noise?
That kind
No.
of noise.
I don't hear that precious little boy. No, I'm just tossing and turning for like 4 nights straight.
Well,
I
and
just-
also, you've got a lot on your plate, right? You've got teenagers in the house. You've got homecoming stuff coming up. You've got a lot going on. And there's the big question, will they have homecoming or not? Because it's so hurricane-y.
right?
So
Well, that's not really a problem in my book, one way or the other. I don't care about that at all.
well, so let's just, let's talk to our audience for a second.
Okay.
Everybody else is in a good mood, right? Not sure. There's a lot going on in the world besides hurricanes. Of course, the
Well, there
hurricanes
doesn't have to be a lot going on in the world to have a bad mood.
That's for sure.
I mean,
nothing. It could be a sunny, beautiful day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just am tired.
So you exactly. Don't you think that sleep is pretty much the answer to almost all the problems? At least
Probably.
Really and
It's the
truly,
starting
they are for
point.
me. I can have some real problems and get a good night's sleep and go, wait, that's okay now. It totally works out. And if it doesn't work out, it's okay. I don't know. Sleep is a magical thing. And I think we underestimate the fact that.
Get it at some point.
You
and
will.
that's fine. It's just making me on edge. And
Well,
I don't like that.
Let's call it as it is. This is our week off. We have a week, you and I have a week on and a week off. This is our week off. And there's always some bit of a drama to that.
You're right.
I kind of cruise through.
You're like, this is great. No one's here.
Yeah, this is good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And I'm spinning like a Tasmanian devil trying to do my week on.
I know.
Well,
it's a lot. No, I think being a parent honestly, being a parent full time while you're not even able to physically be full time is a tough job. Just being a parent is anyway. I don't care how old your kids are. So, you're having that moment. I remember those moments. I still sometimes have them. And I've had them lately a lot more than not. So it's an emotional time, and it's okay to be emotional about that. And to also know that the most important thing we can do for our kids is to love them and stay steady with that. And eventually it all comes around.
what does that mean?
It all comes around. It all comes back around.
We have to do it again.
I used to really think that if I love my child enough that, she will see eye to eye to me. That's not really it. If you love anybody enough, they might not see eye to eye with you, but love is not spent and exhausted into nothingness. It always is there. So they could, go to their graves not understanding or getting along with parents or kids and parents. But love is present. And when love is present, then there's hope for everybody. You don't have to agree on things, right?
Yeah.
Nobody has to agree on anything. What we have to do is allow people to be themselves and to love them anyway.
I know, but I think that's what's so hard is that I always come from that love place. And I think I give so much of that and overcompensate for, I don't know, any real world issues that's not enough. It feels like right now, like I don't know how to do the other parenting part.
Yeah, I understand. I hear you. Yeah, I'm not sure that's not, but that's pretty universal. I never feel like I do enough. But you're going through a real moment where it's an emotional time for you. And I don't think you're alone on that, right?
Right.
And so when you
but I think I feel alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm divorced, so when I'm with my kids, a single parent.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel like I just feel like I'm doing it by myself. It's not going well.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm really glad we're having
I don't even know what that means, like going well. I guess that just means that I have worries or concerns and trying to do my best for my kids and help them with whatever they're dealing with. And I hate seeing, people struggle. And I don't feel like, not that I can fix it, because I know that's not my job, is to fix my children's problems ever, at any point of their lives, but to love and support them, like you said. But there's more than, I don't know. I've never done it before.
I know.
My kids have never been teenagers before. We're all just trying.
You're all doing
And I'm just a very sensitive person. And so when shit hits the fan, like it's hard for me to make heads or tails of it in a way that feels productive or helpful. I don't know.
Well, I think right now it's productive. And I think you're speaking to a lot of people. And I'm really amazed that we're doing this, because I know how you don't like to, show your emotion and show this to other people. But I'm pretty sure everybody feels the same way you do. Maybe they feel like that right now.
Yeah.
Or they did yesterday, but they will. And I mean, there's no guidebook on this thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's harder when you're by yourself.
Right.
I mean, we're together, but I'm not their parent.
Right. And I mean, I just physically and emotionally miss you in those times when I feel like I have to turn my energy away from you to them and vice versa. I mean, I don't ever turn it away, right, from either of you, but it just shifts in such a, powerful way. And I had a thought, but I'm tired and crying now. And my nose is red.
And her nose is red, but she still has the makeup on from this morning.
What I was going to say,
That's okay.
But it felt very
poignant.
Right. Oh, two, at this stage when my children are teenagers, it's a natural time for them to start to move away from me, from, their parents, and forge their way out in the world. And it's like climbing up a hill of just oh gosh, are you going to drop? And I'm here to catch you, but I have to let go. And so it feels like a very ping-pongy, yo-yo-y exchange of energy with them.
It is.
I guess. And I'm not being critical towards anybody. I'm just trying to talk my feelings out about that and recognize what's going on and how that makes me feel.
Do you feel supported?
I guess not.
Yeah. So
no.
What would that look like? What would supported look like? I'm really curious.
I don't really know.
Yeah. Even if you are in a 2-parent household, it's so hard. I mean, teenager, you're right. What you just said, you want them to go, they're ready to go. But at the same time, you see how they could fall and really, really hurt themselves much more so than when they were 3 or 4.
Right.
And this is a critical time. And so there is no espousing that, some poetic way of getting through it. And I really don't believe there is a handbook on it. There's a lot of parent books, but you know what? Everybody's got their own kids and their own set of problems.
Right.
But the best part of you and your kids is you all are close. Even though you're only with them every other week, when you're with them, and you just said it, you take your energy and you put it there, and it feels weird because you don't have energy with me, but we do, but it's different energy. Mm-hmm. And so it's like you literally pack a suitcase every week and you literally unpack it every week. And that's what you do emotionally.
It's like, yeah.
But I mean, whatever. I've seen your bags. I've seen your
bags around, but I mean, I think that's the thing. I'm just living in a little bit of this all the time, a little bit tumultuous place. And
you're tired.
Yeah.
And you know what?
But also I have so much empathy for my kids for having to live that way too. And it's like less tumultuous than living with parents who can't live together healthfully.
And there's a good light. That's a light.
The most important part. That's why we're here. And I don't regret any of it, but it's just.
What a day not to have a tissue here. You just said it. You just said it. And divorce is hard. But what's harder? You just said what's harder? Bringing them up in a situation that would be more, I'll use the word toxic. I'm sure that's what it would be, but I can't think of a word that might describe you because I'm not you.
Right. No.
So, or in a place where they would have to deal with other things.
Yeah. I mean, and that's life, there's always ups and downs, and no one right way is the perfect way. And, could fantasize about the facade of a perfect family life and dinners at home, but everybody has all the same stuff to deal with. This is one struggle that right now feels like a lot.
I look in hindsight at my family, and we used to have dinners at home, and my hindsight is very beautiful and golden. And I remember the dinner table discussions and always feeling like my parents were solid together. But if I really go back to the reality of that, I would imagine, and actually I probably saw it, and just as a kid didn't know it, there was friction sometimes, and there was pain. And in my case, I guess family money was an issue, and bankruptcy and those kind of things when I was a little child. And so you look at this imaginary picture of people being together and getting along, and it's always going to be some sort of friction. I believe. I mean, I certainly am not a parental icon. I am not the one you want to look for. Yeah, really. I think my own daughter could tell you that. I've just done the best I could too, and I've shed a lot of tears. And I think your tears you're shedding today are some that, wow, they're really powerful and overdue for you. Mm-hmm. And that you are doing on our podcast. And if you will allow this to go out, which I'm still not sure she will, where would you like to go from here?
It's a great question. To bed.
Yeah. You probably need to go to bed. This has been a tough time. But you know what? You got up this morning.
I'm not trying to be like, it's so tough. But
it is so tough.
I'm just trying to, I don't know, talk it out. I'm like going through a wave of emotion of like gonna burst into tears, then mad about it, and then embarrassed about it.
Why would you be embarrassed about tears? I'm
not embarrassed about tears, just I don't, any of it.
What are you embarrassed about?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't name it. I just feel embarrassed.
Because you're not doing it perfectly. That's why.
No. For seeing myself from above and being like, just, like, whatever. That's
talk to yourself like that higher self is talking down to you, like that, seeing yourself from above.
She is.
And what is she saying?
Shut up. This is so embarrassing. You look like an idiot. You sound like an idiot. You're doing fine. These are not real problems.
But they are.
Like, if you didn't want to be a single mom, like, then don't get divorced. If you didn't want to talk about it, I don't know. I'm just like questioning everything I'm doing right now.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I know that for a fact. Question.
Yeah, but most people like do it on their diary or in their diary or like
no,
with a
most
friend.
People lose their shit a whole
put it
lot.
On a podcast.
Just look around. People lose their minds on this stuff. on this stuff, on everything. My God, between, kids. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. I said this on a couple of podcasts ago. I can't imagine bringing up kids now and all the things that they have to deal with. Well, welcome to the podcast and an uplifting time for all of us. So Leah's doing the Fake It Till You Make It podcast. Mm-hmm. And then once we decided to get on the podcast, I think you're doing a great job. You didn't make it. Sometimes you can't fake it and then make it. Sometimes you just fake it and then go, I am done.
That was ridiculous.
I'm done. No, you're doing the best you can. That's all we can do. And so I'm just kind of glad to see somebody losing their shit besides me for a change. I'm the kind of person that loses my shit, but I lose it at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
You're doing great, baby. You just keep going. Keep moving. Look at the wind out there. Get out there and stand there and let it blow all those troubles away. There's something to that, don't you think?
I don't know.
I get in the shower and feel that way. I get in the shower and have the water just take it away from me. Mm. Yeah, because if you can get it to the surface, which you just did, if you can get it to the surface, then you can wash it away with your mind, with your heart, with your thoughts, with your prayers, with your water, with your air. I read a thing somewhere, probably, who knows where I read it, and it was about the 60% of the reason people are having mental health issues is they think too much. Well, this is such a simple statement, right? I mean, if we just quit thinking about it and just feel it. I've said this before 1,000 times too, but I have to talk myself out of that because my brain is very active, as yours is right now too.
No, my brain is not very active.
Well, but it's been, you've been frustrated, is that correct?
Yeah.
So you've been talking to yourself, probably not in the nice ways, right? More in you're just kind of awful ways, right?
Yep.
So anyway, if you can quit thinking it through, but feeling it through, and then you were feeling it a minute ago and the emotions all spilled out, and then you were embarrassed, but then you can then it's out. And then you try to transform it into something that works for you. And I'm not sure how you do that personally.
We'll see.
I literally use my own imagination and magic.
I know. You're good at that. I'm just way more.
I'm not very good at it.
Linear and tactile and
no, I'm not.
I don't know.
No, none of us are good at it. I think we got to. I think we got to be real honest about this. We might be on a podcast talking about all kinds of things, but we're talking about the things that neither one of us really have answers to. There is no answer to parent-child dynamic. There's no answer to partner-partner dynamic. There's feelings, there's knowingness from our hearts, and there's a faith, my faith is really truly in the humanity of it. I hesitate to say God because I don't ever think of that, oh God with the beard anymore. I think about the humanity and why we're sitting in a situation when you're so frustrated and you just think, I'm so out of control. I'm so shitty. I'm so bad. Why? And I'm embarrassed on top of all of that. These are those great times that all you can do is sit with them and go, where is this teaching me? Meaning, where can I get better from here?
Right.
And if you can just sit with it and move at the same time, be at peace with it and move at the same time with your eyes open, I think you'll get to the next thing. At least that works for me sometimes.
Good.
And it'll work for you. I promise. Okay. Thank you for spilling your eyes out with tears. You cry pretty tears, actually.
Oh, okay.
Your nose does get red, though.
I know, it's really red. I get very stuffy.
That's right. Yeah, but that's good. Your eye makeup's amazingly still on. So, yeah. So if they're watching on YouTube, they'll go, she must be fake crying.
No, I think it's very clear. I'm not fake crying. I guess that's the part that keeps kind of pinging me right in my heart. Like, I don't know, right now in this moment, I just feel like sadness and loneliness about the way I feel. Maybe I'm creating this perception, but a perception of others about my divorce and our relationship and what that does to kids. Maybe that's an internal, but I think
No, I'm pretty much, that's an external because You've heard it a lot. Let's be honest. You have heard that a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not actively I am actively dealing with that, but in a different way, right? So we do hear that a lot. The courage it takes to be in a relationship that is not socially acceptable, especially when it's not acceptable to your own family, is courageous. And sometimes you question yourself and go, am I just the black sheep because I really am just a mess? Or am I the black sheep because I refuse to play by rules that have never worked for anyone? And there is an in-between there. Those are two extremes, right? And so we walk that path of, sometimes I literally step in other people's shoes. And that's the whole weirdness about our relationship, because we don't need to explain our relationship to anybody. But when it comes to feeling alone and unaccepted by the people that have said that they're your people, then that can be very hurtful. And I'm just speaking for you, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, it feels like a little bit more. I think those are good words for you. I think you keep and hold on to that. There's a piece of that for me. I think mine comes from that whole like people pleasing acceptance thing that I think I pride myself on trying to do good and be good and make others feel good, that I love people and that I'm a happy, kind person. And so to feel that people view me anything differently from that just feels bad.
Right.
I mean, I guess I feel there's an embarrassment part. There's a disappointment part. There's a anger part to that.
And a need to explain it.
Yeah, I need to explain it and make it okay for everybody else. And I don't normally feel like that. I just do now. I don't know. I mean, was it being on that show last week, like really bringing our relationship out in front for people to go at again? Well, I know. And that's the thing. I've said to people, it wasn't a nerve-wracking experience to be on TV like that, to talk about us, because we've been us for a long time. Like, that's not a problem. And maybe it is because now no one's outright doing it. Maybe I feel judged again as a parent. I don't know what it is.
Well, I think these are all things that are coming up, right?
Yeah.
And we're all just, we try so hard to make our people love us, or at least I do. And I think you just said it. You just really, it hurts you when people perceive you other than being this kind, which you really are. What you see with Lee is what you get, period.
Obviously.
There is nothing that's hidden. That's one thing that I've always loved about you is there's nothing hidden. You've got a deep, deep surface below the surface, but it's the same. It's up on the surface.
I mean, I'm a little naive.
There's that. She's the Pollyanna, and we said that before, but there's such beauty in loving that. And so for people to think, for you to think, people think there's a deviant underneath side to Lee, it's like, oh no, I'm here to tell you. I know her inside and out, and this is who she is. This is who you are, and this is what you get. And I've never known anybody that was so purely themselves as you are, and also so purely sensitive. And speaking for me, now I have these depths that I hold a lot down here because I have a lot of feelings. They're not despicable feelings at all. I think they're good feelings, but they're frightened and they're vulnerable and they're hurt and they're scared and they're, oh my God, what if they really think I'm that bad? That stuff. And so I get it. But that's why at the very beginning of this podcast, I'm like, it's gonna be okay because this is who you are. You and your kids are going through just the teenage stuff, and it's intense right now. And you will get through it, and you will be better for it, and they will too. And for you to cry about it is the honorable thing, I think. And for you not to cry about it and to go, oh, no, I'm okay. Everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Aren't we all okay? I'm just fine. So that's what we all try to do.
Right.
And that's what you try to do with me. And that's when I go, nah, don't bullshit me there. I know what's going on here. But isn't this uplifting to somebody that's going through some things? And who isn't?
Mm. Well, I don't know if it is. I mean, right now, I don't feel like I'm being uplifting. I feel like I'm just being honest.
Honesty. Well, that's,
I mean, that's it. And it's messy. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't spent my life therapizing myself and figuring myself out. And so that's always an ongoing. So I think that came out very messy and raw and real. And
the best there is. Messy, raw, and real. That is the good stuff, right?
New name of the podcast.
Yeah. We should rename it Messy, Raw, and Real. Be powerful.
I know. I just flashed in my head, I think sometime around this time last year, I feel like I put a post out that was like, does anyone else hit a wall? Like, is this a yearly? Am I a fall wall hitter?
You're a fall wall hitter.
Equinox that you talked about last week.
Occipital.
It's a real hard one. No, it's not.
It is in my head. No, I think it might be.
Maybe.
You are a spring chicken. Remember, you're born in May. I'm born in January. I love the winter. You love the spring.
Fall's nice too.
You're like going, oh,
clearly.
No, we're going into the deep dark. That means I've got to think about shit.
Maybe that's what it is. And it's all bubbling up. Like, I don't know what to do with that.
Well,
let's just purge it here and move on.
It's also just, the whole world is bubbling up a little bit. I think we're all connected in so many good ways about that. You know, might as well bubble it to the surface and get it done.
There
right?
you go.
And move forward and maybe you're going to cry for another week or two. I don't know.
God.
I know. But I mean, what if you do? Then what's on the other side of that? You're not going to cry yourself to death. Do people do that?
I don't know. I hope not.
I don't think they do. They might. No, you wouldn't do that. Besides, you have to put on that grand funeral I have planned.
That's right. That'll be much fun, more fun than crying myself to death.
That's right. That's right. You will probably drink yourself to death at that point. Yeah.
I feel like we should talk about unicorns or your pink shirt.
You like? And I realize this is a rerun. I like this pink shirt a lot. Plus, it's cold.
Look at you wearing the same outfit twice.
I know.
Oops.
Oh, and speaking of outfits, we've decided to go to a couple of the galas this year, and I am going to pull that red caped dress back out.
Okay.
That I wore, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years? We were together 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
It was like when we were first out. And I wore it to the opera.
Oh, yeah, that was
I'm bringing it back out. I am bringing it back out, and I'm going back to the opera gala, and I'm going to be in it.
Nice.
If you've got a good dress you love, and you've got a cape, how could you not wear it? And it's red. So I've got my outfit.
There
what
you
are you
go.
gonna wear? See?
I don't know. I think to get through this day, I would like to go upstairs and find a cape, maybe a wig.
Maybe not a black shirt.
Maybe not a black shirt. And
wait, you ordered me that wig, right?
It's on the front porch.
Oh, excellent.
I saw it when I pulled in.
Yeah.
You got a wig.
Yeah.
For what? For Halloween coming up.
And honestly, the fact is when you dress the way that it makes you feel better, even if you feel bad, it makes you feel better. That's why when we went on that TV show last week, when I wasn't nervous because I wasn't, worried about what she could ask me or anything.
Sure.
I just was like, wow, it's a live audience. This is real TV, right? And one lady just yelled out, love your outfit. And how, that's not even a deep thought, right? But it just like buoyed my day. I'm
right.
Yeah. Okay. I look good. That means I'm good to go.
Right.
So, the exterior sometimes is a big deal. It makes your interior feel a little bit better when it's a little bit nervous.
Well, let's go dress up.
Maybe we should do that. Let's go put on some bright colors.
Freshen up the makeup.
Yeah.
Man, do I miss those makeup artists from New York.
We're going to get some. We're going to get some for the podcast since we're on YouTube now, right? Yeah, right.
God.
Now we're going to stay real and we're going to stay tearful. We've never done a tearful podcast. We'll see how this works out. But look on the other side of the tears. I mean, or look at the tears. I love the
better.
crying. Yeah, you feel better, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
And sometimes when you're gone and I have my alone time, oh my God, when the Queen died. And I was telling this, we got our spray tans to go on TV or whatever. And it was right as the Queen died a couple weeks ago. And I was in here just crying my eyes out.
And I said, you might
Lee turned around and she goes,
those tears.
Your tanner has turned to white streaks. And it was like permanent. So I had to go in there and really wipe it down.
Wipe it down.
Trouble. I told you we'd get to vanity. I told you we would get to vanity. And here we are. Vanity has raised its head once again.
Oh, my nose. We're going to go ice it down.
You notice your nose in the ice. Okay, well, so I think
thanks, everyone.
Let's leave them with some final thoughts here. Everybody needs to have a good cry. You know, a good cry. If you've got somebody like a friend or
a bunch of strangers watching you,
yeah, and you need a little help with that cry.
Call me.
Call us. Yeah, we're all about that, right? Well, I love you.
I love you. Thank you. Thanks.
You did it. Thanks for listening to us today, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can now find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. If you liked it, please share, rate, and review. We love 5 stars. And we hope you'll work out with us online or in studio at HilliardStudioMethod.com.